There once was a beggar who sat on the same worn patch of pavement day after day, his hand outstretched for coins, his eyes cast down, searching for mercy among hurried footsteps. The city around him pulsed with life, a whirlwind of ambition and opportunity. But for him, each sunrise simply marked another day of survival. His world was confined to the rough stones beneath him, the distant sounds of laughter, and the cold indifference of passers-by. Years passed, and the beggar's appearance became a fixture in the bustling street. His clothes grew ragged, his beard wild, and his eyes weary. People hurried past, some tossing him a coin without meeting his gaze, others averting their eyes as if his presence was a shadow to avoid. The beggar's requests for help became routine, almost mechanical, his voice blending into the background noise of the city. He had come to accept his fate. This was his life, unchanging, predictable, and hopeless. But one evening, as the sun dipped behind the crowded skyline, a young woman stopped before him. Unlike the others, she did not rush past. She knelt down, her eyes level with his, and asked, "Why do you sit here every day?" The beggar hesitated, unsure how to answer. He had never been asked this before. He shrugged, replying, "Because I have nowhere else to go. This is all I know." The woman regarded him thoughtfully and said, "Is it truly all you know, or all you believe?" The question lingered in the air, heavier than the coins in his cup. She handed him a small book, its cover plain and unassuming. "Read this," she said. "It might help you see things differently." With that, she disappeared into the crowd, leaving the beggar with the weight of her words and the book pressed in his hands. That night, under the glow of a street lamp, he opened the book. It was filled with stories of transformation, of ordinary people who changed their lives not by changing their surroundings, but by changing the way they thought. One story in particular caught his attention. It was about a man who, after years of despair, realized that the greatest prison is not the walls that surround you, but the beliefs that keep you inside them. The beggar closed the book and sat in silence. He began to wonder, had he been living in such a prison? Had his mind become so fixed on his circumstances that he could not see beyond them? The seed of possibility, planted by the woman's question, began to grow. Over the next days, the beggar watched the world differently. He noticed the determination in the faces of those who passed by. He listened to the conversations of people who spoke of dreams and plans. He began to imagine himself in their shoes, not as a beggar, but as someone with hope, someone who could make choices. Slowly, a new thought took root. Maybe he was not powerless. Maybe his life could change if he could change his mindset. One morning, he decided to act. He stood up, leaving behind his usual spot. The familiar anxiety gripped him, but he forced himself to keep walking. He approached a small bakery just a few blocks away, drawn by the scent of fresh bread and the laughter coming from inside. He asked the owner if he could help clean tables in exchange for a loaf of bread. The owner, surprised by the request, agreed. For the first time in years, the beggar worked. His hands trembled, unused to labor, but his heart stirred with something unfamiliar: pride. At the end of the day, the owner handed him not just bread, but a few coins. "Come back tomorrow," she said, "if you want more work." The beggar nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. Days passed, then weeks. The beggar returned to the bakery each morning, earning a little more, learning new skills. He became a part of the rhythm of the place, his presence welcomed by the staff and customers alike. With each day, his confidence grew. He saved his earnings, bought new clothes, and found a modest room to rent. The city that had once seemed so cold and distant now felt alive with opportunity. He remembered the book and the woman's question. What had truly changed? His circumstances, yes, but more importantly, his mindset. By believing in the possibility of change, he had taken the first step toward a new life. The beggar realized that the greatest transformation happens within. When you change the way you see yourself and the world around you, possibilities open up. One evening, as he closed up the bakery, the beggar, now no longer a beggar, but a worker, a friend, and a dreamer, walked past his old spot on the pavement. He saw another man sitting there, eyes cast down, hand outstretched. The sight stirred memories, but also compassion. He knelt down and said, "Why do you sit here every day?" The man shrugged, repeating the words he once spoke himself. "Because I have nowhere else to go. This is all I know." The former beggar smiled gently and replied, "It's all you know because it's all you believe. But life can change if you change your mindset." He handed the man the same book that had changed his own life, hoping to plant the same seed of possibility. The story of the beggar is a powerful reminder. Our lives are shaped not only by our circumstances, but by the beliefs we hold about what is possible. It is easy to become trapped in routines, to accept limitations as unchangeable truths. But the mind is a powerful force. When you change your mindset, you open doors where once you saw only walls. Perhaps you have felt stuck, weighed down by challenges or setbacks. Perhaps you believe that your situation cannot change, that you are powerless to alter your path. But remember the beggar's journey. Change begins with a single thought, a willingness to see yourself and your world differently. It begins with hope, with curiosity, and with courage. Ask yourself, what beliefs are holding you back? What possibilities are you not seeing because you have accepted your circumstances as permanent? Challenge those beliefs. Imagine what your life could be if you approached each day with the mindset that change is possible, that you are capable of growth and transformation. Take small steps. Seek out new experiences. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Learn, adapt, and believe in yourself. The journey may not be easy, and the road may be uncertain, but every step you take with a new mindset brings you closer to a life that reflects your true potential. The beggar's story is not just about escaping poverty. It is about discovering hope, resilience, and possibility. When you change your mindset, your life will change. The world may not always meet you halfway, but with belief and determination, you can create opportunities where none seem to exist. So, dare to see beyond your current circumstances. Dare to believe in yourself. Your story is still being written, and the next chapter begins with a simple yet profound truth. Change your mindset and your life will change.